I'm live, and I hope this time the mic is working. Gosh darn it. Let me log into my desktop, which is, for you, it's over there. For me, it's over here, because this is mirrored for whatever reason. I don't understand it. And we'll get everything set up here again. I apologize for this stupid confusion. Don't know why it's acting like this. It was all working for me a minute ago, and then as soon as I hit go live, it stopped working. I don't understand it one little bit, but sound seems to be working from here. So I got that going for me. Let's see. This is a Chrome window, so StreamYard. We'll get this fixed. Also, I should totally throw an invite out there for Ninja Weasel so he can get back in here. Hey, can you hear me this time? Can you actually hear me, Eli Easy? Oh gosh, maybe you can't hear me. Send that in the chat. And let me get my other window over here so I can use my camera that's mounted to this light. Start cam, we can mute that. I won't even use that headset this time. There's Ninja Weasel. Oh, I should use the headset to hear him. Let's see. Can you hear me, Ninja Weasel?
I can totally hear you.
All right. I'm going to have to just live with the fact that I got weird echo. Yeah. So how's it going?
It's going. This county I've been driving for work should have been done in less than 1 day, but it's taken me 2 days. I swear it's cursed. Just stupid errors in the equipment in the morning, and then multiple barred gates yesterday messing up my drive route, culminating in me deciding I was done for the day when I reached a road that was not only barred, but also required a ferry to cross the river rather than using a bridge. The ferry was out of service.
Oh, I believe it.
So that's when I just packed it in for the day.
Just 1 second. I'm going to try something with my headset here. I should blink screen. There we go. I can't hear you at this moment, and I apologize for that. Yeah, for some reason, my desktop just does not want to use my microphone on my headset. I don't get it. Do I need to like connect to a voice chat to activate it somewhere? Like if I click this and then I click out, does that do anything? No, that's so weird. Okay, I apologize. I'm going to get back in the chat here so we can do stuff. I will just have to live with me hearing my own voice, which is really awkward. Really. So
hearing your own voice is always kind of weird.
Oh, especially when it's like in real time.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing it just like seconds later, a tenth of a second. Like I'm hearing an echo of myself.
Oh, that's always trippy.
Oh, you're not kidding. If I could just, you know what? Screw the headset. All right, say something, Ninja Weasel.
Oh man, we're going without a headset. It's getting wild up in here now.
Yeah, everybody else may have to suffer through an echo at this point. But
it's fine. I've got a headset on, so I don't really hear an echo anyway.
Great. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit to hear you a little bit better. And yeah, so let's see. You said bars and a ferry and...
Oh, I didn't link this on Discord. I made a picture, a visual record of all of this so that we can send it to the client so that I can explain why I didn't drive on all these specific roads that they wanted me to go on. And, you know, I can't just be like, well, I mean, I could just be like, couldn't go here. There was a gate across the road. But without like visual documentation, what's to say I'm not just, being lazy and trying to, BS the client or whatever. So whenever I hit a gate, I take a picture, and at the end of the day, I try to put it into a report. So let me put this on the Discord. I don't actually expect it to show up in the stream proper, but I think you will appreciate this. Hang on, dig it up. Where did I put this?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Are you linking it on my server, or are you linking it in a little chat window, or what?
Yeah, I was gonna just drop it in the general Eliza Barbaria chat.
Yeah, sure. I can throw that up on stream here.
Okay, there we go.
Let's see. Open that up in my browser, and then I can share screen. Let's see. I want to share that. Okay, so let's see. Private drive, private property to keep out, then another private road, then a ferry, and the ferry's closed.
Yeah. What amazes me about the ferry being closed is it's out of service, sitting in the middle of the river. How did the ferryman get back to his car? Did he swim? Because I approached from the other side today, because as you can see in the little image below it, it's in the middle of the road there, in the middle of the Mammoth Cave National Forest. So I drove up to the other side of it today, and the ferry's in the middle of the road. It's like they airlifted the ferryman back to wherever his car was parked.
The phantom of the ferry right there.
Clearly.
Okay, that's pretty nuts. I got to admit, that just blows my mind, dude.
Yeah, so I sent that to the client as an explanation of why I didn't, get to those private roads they wanted me to get to. But when it's private road and it's closed, I can't open the gate and go in. I'm not authorized to do that. And I'll probably get shot because I'm in Kentucky. Don't go on somebody else's road.
I would probably shoot you under those circumstances.
You would be justified. Especially with everything going on in the world right now. The last thing you want is some stranger rolling up on your property that you don't know.
I know. We're breaking quarantine here on stream, man.
I know, right?
Okay, let me ask you a question, and I'm just interested in the answer. So are you going to continue doing this? Is it what you're doing considered essential? Are they going to continue sending you out like to go die in the backwoods, or are you like going to quarantine? Like how's this working in your job? Because like I got to keep working, but I can work from home because all I need is a phone and a computer. Well, and the internet.
Right. Well, I think while I'm not classified as an essential job, I can continue to do it safely because I'm pretty much self-quarantined. I spend my day either in my car with no other people around, or I spend the rest of the day in my hotel room with no other people around. I've been keeping a count, and on average, I interact with less than 5 people a day doing this job. And 2 of those are like if I go to a drive-through to get something to eat. Maybe I'll, have to interact with the cashier at a gas station. Maybe it's somebody at the front desk of a hotel, but I am the king of social isolation at this job.
That's pretty good. I got to admit, last week I went into the office on Monday and then Tuesday, and I think Tuesday night there was an email from my boss's boss changing the guidance from you can work at home if you want to don't come in, please. So I didn't come in Wednesday last week, but like Monday and Tuesday, I totally did. And it was great, man. Nobody bothered me because nobody was there. So you want to talk like self-isolation and quarantining and stuff. I was doing that at work, man.
Yeah, because there's nobody else around to risk, getting sick. Yeah, everybody's all a lot of my family has asked me that same question that you did. Like, are you still going to be doing this while this is all going on? Are you, at risk? Will you be okay? And of all the jobs that I can think of that go on during this, mine is, from what I can tell, absolutely one of the most not at risk because I just don't interact with people.
I dig it. Oh, hey, welcome Bianca Fights the Zombies. Welcome to the stream. I'm just chatting with my buddy here. I got comic books over here. We are going to unbox something later, although it's something that if I unbox it, I probably can't show most of what I'm unboxing on stream.
Or was it another one of those?
Yeah, it's another Hell Witch comic. So
yeah. Was that the same one that we got the last time that you were like, this is great. Can't show that. Can't show that. Can't show that. I can show you about a third of this. Can't show that.
Yep. I got that. I also got some other stuff in the mail today, too. So we'll look at that here in a minute.
All right.
I'm waiting on, Crazy Rob or Sarago or whatever he wants to go by to join us. I told him to get on my stream. And I don't know if he didn't click the StreamYard link or if his computer exploded or what, man. He is living a crazy life. You want to talk about somebody who is...
Yeah, for real. I can't believe that he's like Home Depot, I think, or Lowe's, or one of those like home improvement stores.
It's totally like go buy lumber and appliances, and he's got to go into freaking work, man.
Yeah, they're not shutting it down. That's absurd.
And he told me, I think it was last week, a Boundless comic. No, man, it's a Coffin Comics comic, but the while Lady Death never actually seems to show anything. The cards and stuff that go with Hell Witch, it was like, whoa, what am I looking at here?
Yeah, this is not YouTube friendly content.
Yeah, it's like I had to mark that stream or delete it or something. Oh, come on, man, where are you, dude? Oh my God, he must just ignore it when somebody tags him in a message on Discord. I don't tag people very often.
Something else going on, maybe.
No, he asked me, is the stream up yet? Just get in here, dude. Get in here. That's all I'm asking. Also, I'm going to, once again, pitch this stuff, even though I don't get any money for it, but I just really like this peach iced tea. It's the Aldi brand. It's, great stuff. It's way better than Snapple. Despite
all of my years living in Georgia, I still cannot get down with peach iced tea. Something about it just never really sit with me. I'll take my sweet tea plain or with some lemon in it, but you start adding fruit flavors to it and it gets out of my zone.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The reason I'm so down with this stuff is the peach flavor covers up the artificial sweetener. Really well.
Artificial sweetener is your first mistake.
Dude, 0 calories. You see how fat I am? Come on, man.
I don't know who you think you're talking to, man. I'm fat. I eat sugar anyway. I'm going to be fat and not die of cancer. That's my option.
I plan to live forever, so, I'm not too worried about that.
We all do until we don't.
True words.
A lot of philosophers in my family.
Let's see. Something I was going to say, talking about tea. Oh, dude. So some of my relations think my mom is really, really into hot tea. She's not. She hates hot tea. She doesn't drink hot tea. But they think she's really into hot tea. So, for Christmas presents and stuff, she'll get tea. And then I'm the one that has to drink this stuff. But it worked out interesting. There was what was it? It's like Tazo or Tazo or something like that. It's Tazo.
They do some really good flavors.
I've
had a couple of different Tazo brands.
They taste like cookies. I had a cup of this at work 2 weeks ago. As a pick me up in the afternoon. I was like, oh man, I need something exciting in my life to bring me out. And
cookie flavored tea sounds like it would do the trick.
Yeah, it was not brownies, but blondies, the whole brownie experience without the thing that makes brownies really good.
Right.
It tasted like that. And I'd put some sugar in it, and I would swear I'm drinking this tea, and it's not drinking tea. I'm like eating a liquefied brownie or something, man. It
Like
was
liquid
amazing.
cookies. Cookies on the space shuttle. There you go.
Oh, that's something I haven't had in a long time. Freeze-dried ice cream, space shuttle food.
I don't think I've ever actually had freeze-dried ice cream. The
You
concept
haven't?
the
Oh,
concept is interesting to say the least.
you got to do it sometime, man. You're just eating like dairy powder and sugar. It's great. If you have like a planetarium or something, like at the university in whatever that city is down the road from me, I'm blanking on the name, Asheville.
Asheville, yeah.
Like if they have a planetarium at the university down there, the planetarium probably will sell you a little packet of it for like $5 or something.
Okay.
It's just a fun treat. I haven't had any in, let's see, since I got this job, so 8 years ago or something, because I took the X there to the.
Man, has it really been 8 years?
Dude, yeah, we're getting old.
Yeah, I've been old. I just didn't think it'd been 8 years since you got that job there.
Let's see. This will
But
be.
yeah, no, looking back on it, you're right. You're right. Because you got that job there not long after I moved to North Carolina and started living with Jade.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Shane Langham, welcome.
Hey, the man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know if he can hear us or if he's muted or something.
The man, the myth, the mic problems. Hashtag relatable.
Let's see. He's not muted or anything. Oh, man.
Oh, well, if your mic is off, how are you going to talk to us?
Or maybe he doesn't want to talk. If that's the case, that's okay, man. I understand if you don't want to chat. I just thought I'd invite you so you could crow about, your good news. I don't know if even Ninja Weasel. Well, maybe you don't want to do that in public, but he's got good news for once in his life. It's amazing.
That's cool. Going on a limb, is it something related to his book?
No, but it is writing related. I'm not going to say anything
Good
else.
enough. Well, yeah, I won't pry unless he feels like, dude, got a writing gig. That is very bueno. Congratulations.
Can you hear him? I can't hear him.
No, he's chatting over in the private chat of the studio.
Oh, we have a private chat. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's how I'm watching this, because Lord knows this hotel internet is not good enough to let me watch the YouTube stream while this is going on. But yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, no worries, man. If you can't get your mic fixed, there's no pressure. I just thought, maybe you'd want to be like, this is awesome and celebrate a little bit, because you told me that, was that Monday night? I don't remember now. It was like Sunday night or Monday night. It was like, yes.
Hey, yes.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Dude, we can hear you. Yeah.
Awesome. So, yeah, I got a running gig with CBR. I'm waiting on my first assignment. It was one of those things that had me screaming. People asked me, my parents asked me, did you hurt yourself? Did you accidentally amputate a limb? And I was like, no. People actually saw what I wrote and they want more of it.
This is definitely better than amputating a limb.
Absolutely. Yeah, so let me publicly say, congratulations on a paid writing gig, man. I don't know
so much.
Now let me back
what kind of writing that'll be.
Ask the question: what's CBR that you got the writing gig for? Because I don't know these things.
CBR is a comic book. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Lizavar comic book, anime, cartoon, video games, all the good things in life. News about those. Correct.
Right on.
Yeah, it's started as like a comic book website, but much like Bleeding Cool and every other website devoted to that, it became more of a pop culture thing. Kind of the same way all the comic book conventions like San Diego Comic-Con, they're not even about comic books anymore. They're about seeing scantily clad cosplayers or hearing about movies or having a celebrity show up. CBR kind of went down the same path at the same time.
Okay. And I've been hired to talk primarily about video games.
Excellent. It's
Living
almost
the
like you
dream.
went to school for that sort of thing.
We might have lost him. We hear
Might
static.
have.
No, I know. I'm just letting you guys talk since I've talked so much.
We haven't talked that much.
You're fine,
Anyway.
man. You missed me and him shooting the breeze for like 10 minutes before you even got here.
It's true.
This is the most conversation I've had, I'm going to say probably in the past couple of weeks because of this job. As I was telling him, I don't really deal with people on a daily basis, which suits me right down to the ground, if I'm being honest. I am not a people person.
Same here. Let's just say I'm not going to go into the details because I want to keep this PG, but retail has not made me more of a people person at the end of the day.
I can empathize 100%. I had the experience working at Walmart and working at Lowe's, and that whole customer service thing is just not particularly my favorite anymore.
I'm showing the ferry again, man.
Oh God, the ferry.
I just people ask, how did the ferryman get off the ferry? It's in the middle of the river.
I don't know. I'm just mostly baffled why we haven't built a bridge using our space age technology in the year of our Lord 2020 to cross this moving body of water. But this is the world in which we live in.
Because it would not be fair to the ferryman now, would it?
I guess.
And if you were unfair to the ferryman...
Would it be the unferryman?
Yes, and we don't want that now.
That is true.
All right, guys, now that you're both here, I'm going to flip through some comic books here and actually get to the purpose of this stream, other than breaking quarantine, which we're
Let's
doing.
see what we got. Are we breaking quarantine? I feel like I'm more than 6 feet physically from the both of you.
We've got the social distancing going on, but we're clearly breaking quarantine because we're interacting with other human beings here.
That's fair. I only worry about the social distancing aspect of this plague anyway.
Oh, before I show comic books, I did want to look at this. Hey, Eli Easy, if you want to link the campaigns you backed in the chat or something, you should be able to. If the mod catches you, I'll let you link them. I'll just unmod it. It's not a big deal. But that's a lot of Kickstarters for you because you were way pickier than I used to be. Although now I'm super picky and don't back anything. So I kind of went from one extreme to the other. All right. We got comic books, guys.
Awesome.
So starting off, I picked these up yesterday. I said that in the 10-minute stream that had no audio from me, which kind of sucked. But my shop man, he called me yesterday. He was like, if you want your books, you got to get them today. So even though previously to 2 weeks ago, if he had sold books on Tuesday, he would have got fined by Diamond. But since, Diamond has now stopped shipping products out and has said they can sell books on Tuesday when they get them, as soon as they get them, because of how uncertain the situation is, he's like, go get your books. So I did. I went to get my books. Here's the dollar books, man. There's nothing super exciting here. I think this is a New 52 Justice League. And let's see, Ed Benes. I think that's the... No, wait, I'm getting them back mixed up, aren't I? One of these is the New 52 Justice League, and one of them is the 2006 series, and I don't remember which, and it doesn't matter. Neither of them are that great. I've already read them.
That is some old school looking art for those second books.
Oh, this especially, dude. This is got to be early 80s because it's got Wanda and Vision getting married.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can make that window really big. What if I hit this button right here? Hey, there we
that
go.
Works.
That's the important window, getting the screen space.
Yeah, definitely. So I read this one while I was in the car because I wasn't driving. So I'm just like, let me read this sucker. And it's a hoot, man. Thor is just hanging out and he gets into a fight with people. There he is fighting Kang the Conqueror. Good times. It's always a good time. Somehow, like Wanda defeats Dormammu, even though she's not the Sorcerer Supreme. Don't ask me how. Whatever. It's comic
Wanda.
book.
She does
It's comic books.
Also, my wife says hi.
Oh, hi, Jay. So anyway, that was an interesting book. Not that great, but it was certainly interesting. What's more interesting, I actually own the original non-reprinted version of this book. I could go dig it out, but I'd rather not stand up. I'm actually suffering gout today, which is always fun.
Oh, that's always the best of times.
So much fun.
Yeah. There's an old piece of art that I saw. Got some artist did. I think it was a wood cutting. It's basically like you got the big, like, swollen joint for gout, which I don't really get that bad. I don't swell, like, it doesn't get, like, huge like some people. But then it's got this, like, little demon with a hammer and a chisel going chink, 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 chink at it. It's like, that is, in fact, how it feels.
Owie.
Fortunately, not something I have ever had to deal with, but you definitely have my sympathies.
I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, Ben Grimm, baby. They were looking
blue-eyed thing.
Like last year, when they were getting ready to do the Absolute Carnage thing, they did a reprint of Carnage USA #1 and the dollar format, and I picked it up. And man, that book immediately like put me off of that book for one reason. They were making fun of Ben Grimm. It's like, you don't make fun of Ben Grimm. It's like, oh, I bet he's gonna, as soon as he gets on the plane, he's gonna mention Yancey Street. And then he did, and everybody rolled their eyes. It's like, come on, man, it's Ben Grimm. He's only got so many lines. He gets jobbed out to everybody. Just let him have his moment.
Everybody. Have we ever actually seen Ben Grimm win, like, definitively, other than, like, holding actions so that somebody else can slide in to save the day?
Not that I can recall, but I don't have that much background on.
There have been times when Ben absolutely has won, but he's kind of like Worf, man. He spends most of his time either like distracting people so that other smarter people can win the fights, or going in and just losing. The first time he fought the Hulk, he kind of won. Kinda.
Going up against the Hulk, I kind of win is probably the best you can hope for, all things considered.
Yeah, I could dig out the reprint of that. It, basically, like, he and the Hulk like battled their way from inside of town to being out of town, and then the army shows up or something, and eventually it ends with like Ben punching the Hulk really hard and knocking him like a block away or something, and then the Hulk just leaves.
All right, that works.
It's close enough to a win.
Yeah, I mean, if the other guy walks away and you still stand there, I guess that makes you the winner.
I'm
tired of this. I'm going home.
Pretty much.
Yep. Of course, that was like the Hulk wasn't like super rage monster all the time back then either. So, because that was back when Hulk just really wanted to be left alone, as opposed to like you get to the 90s and it's like Hulk is just mad and going to murder you in your sleep.
World War Hulk.
That was 2000s, and he was
I
kind
really need to like sit down and check some of that out, because Hulk versus the entire rest of the universe does sound like kind of an entertaining thing to go through.
None of the people that he's fighting actually use their powers against him. Charles Xavier just gives up, doesn't even fight. Doctor Strange doesn't finish his spell to summon an extra-dimensional demon god that was exiled from reality for being too powerful. I think my best thing in that whole book that I liked was Iron Fist versus what was the Hulk's follower, the big stone guy? That's not Miek. Miek is the Brood, right?
Maybe.
I don't remember. Anyway, the big stone dude. Hey, there we go. Ben shattered his fist in the last fight with Hulk he had. He knocked him out, though. So there you go. Ben Grimm definitely won that one. Oh, but that's funny because that ties exactly into what I was about to talk about. So the big stone guy that was following the Hulk around at that time, one of the, were they the Iron?
This Korg from the
Korg. Thank you. That's his name.
Oh, good. That is where they got the name from, because I was thinking of the guy from Thor Ragnarok.
That's the same character. Yeah, that's Korg. Thank you for bringing that up. I was like blanking on his name.
I love that guy.
Anyway, he is there. They're going to break into Doctor Strange's sanctum. And so, like, Wong and Iron Fist are outside. They're like, you guys aren't getting in here past us. And so Iron Fist punches Korg. And keep in mind, Korg is like an unpowered Hulk-level enemy. He's like Abomination, you know?
Right.
He actually, like, seriously hurts Korg. He also totally breaks his arm in the process.
Sounds about right.
It's like, that's like my favorite moment from that whole series. Like, yeah, I can get behind that. It's like Iron Fist is seriously a bad dude when he wants to be because he knows how to hurt you, even without using his powers. But using his powers,
what the Netflix series would have you believe.
Yeah. I like that Netflix series, but it wasn't really Iron Fist.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting, and they did some neat stuff with it. But then it was like every time a fight breaks out, Danny Rand just gets instantly chumped out. I'm like, y'all, what are you doing?
Yep.
You have to have your characters take turns getting the Wharf effect, because if someone's always just there to be thrown into a wall to show how powerful someone is, it's just like, why do we have you here to tank hits?
Yeah, and I mean, there are other ways in which you can put Iron Fist to the test and have him come up lacking. But having him get beaten up by a bunch of like random street level gangbanger thugs? No.
Yeah, like in that series, the only time I can accept him losing fights like that is like before he leaves the mental hospital in season 1. Like up until that point, I could totally buy it because he didn't like have control of his powers and whatever, because of all his mental turbulations. Or
well, sure, but even then, he's still the most skilled martial artist.
He didn't want to fight though.
Like, everything.
It's not that he's not like this deadly martial artist. He just didn't really want to be fighting people. Otherwise, he would have like already had mastered it with his inner peace and da. He didn't really want to be doing any of the stuff he was doing. It was all like going through the motions. And then after he gets out of the asylum, he's whole. There was literally nobody that they showed in that show who could stand up to him.
Except for Madame Gao, which I would totally allow because, oh my God, the lady they had playing Madame Gao was incredible. She was my favorite part of that entire series. Yeah. And she was almost my favorite part of Daredevil, which is saying a lot because I loved the Daredevil franchise that Netflix did. But
that Madame Gao was impeccable. That first season was so good, man.
The first season, and I like the third season. You know, pretty much the answer is, you know, did we have the man playing Kingpin? If so, it was a good season.
I still got to watch the third season, man. I guess after I watched Iron Fist, it actually like killed my interest in all that. Well, no, I watched Defenders or whatever.
The Defenders was all right. It was interesting seeing them like learn to deal with each other. My favorite thing the Defenders did was playing with the color schemes, like in subtle ways in the background. Because, you know, like each of the Defenders had their own particular color that was always very prevalent during their series. And then the Defenders, depending on, you know, who's getting the screen time, they'll do interesting color blends and weird shadows with it and things like that. It was really neat to watch.
You know, I don't think I consciously recognized it, but as soon as you mentioned that, I get it.
Oh yeah, that was one of the first things I noticed, and just watching like
Matt Golden's art. Can you see what I'm showing here?
That's awesome.
The way he does hair, dude, it's just incredible. It looks like actual hair.
Yeah.
The way it's hanging right there.
You get some comic book artists that just do hair like it's another cape with maybe a few lines drawn in. That actually looks like you can see the individual threads. And I know there's a limit to what you can do in a certain medium, but
the stranding on that is really impressive. I don't even know if that's a technical term, but you know what I mean. The way he did the individual strands.
Even when he's doing shorter hair, it turns out great, man. I marvel at Matt Weldon's art, especially when it comes to the hair. I got a whole stack of comics of his I got to read because I backed what was it Plus Ultra on Indiegogo like forever ago, and then I had yet to read it. And I don't think he wants me to read it because I put it in a poll one time. He's like, "You don't need to read that old crap." So it makes me wonder, like, how bad his art in these old books is. I just got him sitting down here. It's like, I don't know. The cover looks okay. What's lurking inside? I don't know. I'm kind of scared to open them since he said that, which is why they just sit in this box next to my desk. No, am I like risking his wrath if I read them and show them on stream or something? Will like Matt Weldon hunt me down? I don't know.
You know, somewhere to go.
Also, he does have a comic book campaign that's on Indiegogo right now. I think I backed that one already. I saw like an Ultraman dude punching a giant monster with his art style, and I'm just like, yep, I'm backing that.
That definitely seems like something that'd be worth some money.
Oh man! And now we're gonna go from like the super detailed Matt Weldon art to Sunday morning comic strip. I love Mr. Crypt for entirely different reasons. Because it's so simple looking. It's clean.
There's definitely a time and a place for that style.
Let's see. I think the artist is Troy Ver something. Let's see. Does it say? Oh no, that's the writer. I'm an idiot. Alexander Jovic. That's right. Anyway, he does all this stuff really clean, and it looks just like I'm reading a Sunday morning newspaper strip. Which I don't know. Let's see. I know Ninja Weasel. You're definitely old enough to remember that. What about you, Mr. Shamalangam?
I don't remember this strip, but
well, not this strip, but just the concept of Sunday morning newspaper.
Yeah. I remember those. It definitely has that vibe, just more detailed.
And of course, being an alternate book, the best part is this is printed on newsprint. If you like pick this up, it smells the way a comic book should smell.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like ink and sorrow. Oh, yeah. It smells like a dying industry to me. It's fantastic. But
stench of desperation.
Mr. Crypt is just fun. It's just like it's basically like a Saturday morning or Sunday morning cartoon strip. You just open it up and you just kind of chuckle your way through the whole thing.
Which is great. Not everything has to be this big, grim, dark exploration of the misery of the human condition, coping with your superpowers and all of this angst and yada, yada, yada. Sometimes you just want to read something that's kind of funny.
How much drama can we put on the hero before he finally develops crippling alcoholism and spends all his time on the internet? And
depending on the writer, probably not that much, because a lot of modern Marvel comics are basically like they meet for coffee and then they get on the internet. It's really weird. There's like no actual superhero stuff in them.
When art imitates life a little too much.
In fact, I'm thinking of the She-Hulk comic. I don't know if it's still an ongoing, but it was like from last year. There was a whole story arc that was she? Yeah, she was. She didn't look like She-Hulk. She looked like the Hulk when she hulked out. So she didn't look feminine at all. She just looked like a guy that had some bolt-ons with, like 10 foot across shoulders. And then like the story arc I'm remembering, this issue, it was about a cooking show for YouTube.
Wow. So whenever I think of She-Hulk, like the number one things that come to mind is when she was the Juggernauts. She was the Juggernauts defense lawyer. When he was on trial for like everything he had ever done. And it was like some untold trillions of property damage and all of these other crimes, but like no murders. He never actually killed anybody directly. Something like that. I don't remember, but
I find that a little hard to believe, man. Sidorak wouldn't have put up with him if he didn't kill a bunch of people.
I need to go back and find it. It's been many, many, many years since I read it.
But I mean, I can kind of get with that, like for the purposes of the story. But Juggernaut not just mass murdering people. Come on.
Well, it was. I want to say it was like when they were trying to reform Jugs into like a vaguely sort of anti-hero, could be a protagonist.
I mean,
As
he did
opposed
that
to,
in
like,
Thunderbolts.
The good old days when he was rampaging around, without care. But like I said, it's been a long time since I've read that. I need to go find it again.
Oh, two more things about this Mr. Crip comic. One, it's funny that my shop man got this in because he hadn't been getting me the Giants, but he got me this one for whatever reason. I had just also ordered it last Friday off the Alternate Comics website, so I guess I'm going to have two of these. And here's the funnier thing. I also ordered the misprinted version because the original one that Peter Simeti got hold of, pages are out of order, so it just jumps randomly from section to section. So I'm going to have a copy of the misprinted one too.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean it was like $250, half the regular price. He's just like recouping his printing costs, even though the printer gave him those for free because they're like, "Oh, we'll fix this for you. Don't worry about it." He's like, I know there are people like Mr. Elizabar that will buy this crap, and yep, sure enough, there I go buying it. Oh man.
Speaking of jumping around, am I interrupting either of you?
Go ahead, man.
Speaking of jumping around in style forms, one series I read, I don't have the physical copy here to show. You might have heard of the Ice Cream Man. It sounds stupid, but it's kind of one of those growing horror comic books. And the style of one issue I remember was that it read like a palindrome. You read forward, and the story developed, and even as it went in reverse, you could kind of see how it still played out in a logical fashion, like going forwards and backwards. It could read like it was. It read well either way. I'm not sure how to put it into a proper English, but it read like a palindrome comic.
That's pretty cool. A lot of people like Ice Cream Man. It gets great reviews. I've never read it myself. It doesn't really appeal to me, and I think the writer, I have a beef with him of some sort, but I don't remember anymore, so it probably doesn't matter. But yeah, I know exactly the book you're talking about. I don't know that issue, though, which that sounds really cool. That's like issue, was it 6 or 7 of Watchmen, where the book mirrors itself art-wise. The writing doesn't, but the art mirrors itself.
There we go. According to the Googles, it was Uncanny X-Men number 435 from February of 2004, The Trial of Juggernaut. There we go.
Cool deal.
I just had to go dig that up. I hate leaving things floating like that.
And yet that ferry is just floating.
Oh. With no way for its poor operator to get on or off.
Wonders will never cease.
I do not comprehend Hendrix.
All right, this book, Once in the Future, it's kind of cool. Oh God, how do I explain it? Like the first story arc was, you could explain it as like, what if King Arthur came back but was a zombie warlord? And did they resolve that?
Would be anyway, wouldn't he?
Well, except he actually was like an evil zombie warlord, and he was going to kill everybody.
Oh yeah, not so much that then. Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do when starting here with issue 7, because they resolved that plot like very resoundingly. Like there's nothing left there to deal with. But our protagonist here, he grew a lot over the course of those issues, and this is kind of an interesting series. It's like Gargoyles. It takes old mythological themes and then plays with them in the modern setting, because the myths are true, but they're really only true in like, the magical world. In the real world, they're not. Even though they happen in the real world, they don't have power here until something happens to give them power.
Okay.
So it was an interesting ride. I was kind of leery of the first issue, and I'm not going to go into that. You can go hear my rant on that if you really want to go find that, because for whatever reason, when I was uploading the review, I forgot to join the 2 video files. So I had like one review that was like, oh, this book is so beautiful. I really enjoy it. And then another part of the review that was, okay, now that we're done saying nice things about this book, let me talk about its political philosophy here for 5 minutes. And it just was this rant. And that's the only part that got uploaded, much to my embarrassment. But it's a very cool book. Let me just. Okay, apparently we're still like, having zombie King Arthur. I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on. I think that's the guy that was Parsival or something in the recast story, or maybe that's Mordred. I don't know. I'll have to read the book and find out. But the book is cool. Look at the way it plays with colors. Anytime they're in the magical world, you get these lush purples and greens. It looks otherworldly.
That is pretty neat.
And then they go back to the real world. Let me find a good example of that. There even is one in here. And there may not be. Yeah, okay, this is close enough to the real world. Like, you can kind of see there's some browns and stuff, like normal colors, even though I think this is still vaguely magical because we've got this green thing right here. Oh, somebody's getting a call.
No, that was an Amber Alert popping up on my phone.
Oh, that's a shame. I hope they find the kid.
Me too.
Yeah, here we go, man. This is like the art in this is just spectacular. The coloring really makes it. Like the line art itself is super solid, but Tamara Bonvillain's colors, like they're kind of like doing drugs, man. Whenever I crack open one of these and I get to like the magical world. Well, hold on, I should show my camera here so everybody can watch me faking dropping acid. Here we go. So I take my glasses off and I'm just like, bam, right in my eye, and then it explodes into color and all sorts of nightmarish things start happening. It's great. You should try it sometime.
I do like comics.
And yet you have no money for them.
Yeah, other things happening.
It is an expensive hobby. Don't get into it.
I have managed to not get into it so far.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what's going on in Justice League Dark. I kind of don't want to open this because I don't want to spoil it. Like whatever's going to happen in this thing is, God, what are they even doing? I don't remember what they were doing. Had they just defeated Cersei and stuff? Oh, that's right. They were dealing with the magical world breaking apart. Yeah, that's right. So 19 is when they beat Cersei and all that stuff. And then the last issue was, hey, what happens if the Green starts freaking out, Ninja Weasel, and Swamp Thing's no longer the Guardian?
This sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah, what happens if the Red starts freaking out and Animal Man's not the Guardian really anymore because he just got infected?
This sounds like more of a bad thing.
What happens if the Rot gets involved and it's also freaking out and infecting everybody with fungus?
Everyone gets cake? No?
Yeah. If by cake you mean
we all live happily ever after and go home safely at this point.
Oh, I really like this cover, man. For a long time, I was making fun of these variant covers because this is like the minimal trade dress cover because you notice the logo's not very big and stuff. And I was making fun because they were just like the team is posing on the cover and nothing's happening. But look here, man, we got like people shooting magic and stuff.
I mean, they're definitely still posing, but there's stuff happening. I think we can safely say things are going down.
I know they're fighting a tentacle monster. Apparently, I mean, what could go wrong here? You've got 2 scantily clad women and John Constantine. I think they could all kind of get into that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't John Constantine one of the magic-based characters who generally resorts to tricking other entities or people into doing his dirty work for him? So if he's actually resorting to, doing wizardry, that things are about to hit the fan, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. And in the DC universe, they did hit the fan. So, oh God, you don't know, do you? You don't know. Oh, let me tell you. I'm going to enjoy explaining all this craziness to you, Mr. Shane Mallingham, because I think you'll appreciate it. So the DC universe is broken completely.
As always is.
No, worse. In the main Justice League book right now, I haven't looked at recent issue, but the ones I got back in February, Lex has won because he's hanging out with the creator god of the universe. So he defeated the entire Justice League. So the Justice League has lost. I don't know how that ties into this because Wonder Woman lost and she's here too. I don't know. I'm not going to think about that too much. It's like in Marvel Comics how Wolverine is in literally every book every month. Let's not think about that too hard. But so their universe is broken. The source wall, the thing that contained everything outside the universe, i.e. the creator of the universe, broke. And so Perpetua came into the universe. And so there's all kinds of crazy stuff. But part of that, after the fallout from the Metal event, when the Dark Multiverse invaded, which I don't think I have a book with the Batman who laughs on the cover handy, or I pick it up and show you. But that's where that character comes from. So after Metal, like, other things started showing up, like the Upside Down Man and all the other things that existed to basically, they think magic is delicious. So they've already eaten like Satan. Like, that's where we're at. The first of the fallen is dead. He got eaten. And
a demonic hors d'oeuvre.
Pretty much everybody else that's like evil or magical has been eaten, except for very few people. So all that's happening. Things are going crazy. You have other dimensional things like rolling
Diamond Devil.
Diamond Devil, there you go. Then Naboo, who is the guy that powers Dr. Fate's helmet, went rogue. He was going to destroy all magic because he's the Lord of Order. So Wonder Woman and Zatanna had to go find the Lord of Chaos, which I forget that character's name, and get his power. So then they roll back in. They defeat the Lords of Order, which completely breaks magic because all the rules don't apply anymore. So the green and the red and all that are freaking out. But before they can deal with that stuff happening and the fact that Swamp Thing is no longer the Guardian of the Green, there's this dude who became the new Guardian because the Parliament of Trees was burned down and it was replaced by the Parliament of Flowers. And then one of Swamp Thing's old enemies ate the guy who was the new Guardian of the Green, so he got the power.
A lot of people get ate in this.
What was that dude's name? Woodrue or something. You probably know him. Ninja
Jason Woodrue?
Yeah.
The moronic man?
That's the guy. He's the new Guardian of the Green.
The only reason I know that is from Batman and Harley Quinn.
We're all waiting, man.
Batman and Harley Quinn. Have either of you seen that movie?
No, actually, I've seen a bunch of the DC movies, but not many of the recent ones.
If you remember Batman, the animated series, and Paul Dini's take on it, imagine that, except they don't care about censorship anymore. I mean, they're not trying to go completely all out like with the new Harley Quinn series, but it's just like, okay, the kid gloves are off. Now that we don't have to worry about kids WB anymore, we can have them act like you would think they would act. There's some juvenile humor in there, and depending on your mood, depending on the time of day, it might be or not be your thing, but I liked it. It's one of my guilty pleasures.
Okay. Gotcha. I might have to watch that.
Might have to check some of those out, yeah.
You know,
do they still have the same like Bruce Timm style art?
Oh yeah. Well, that's one of the attracting features of it for me.
Yes.
Oh man, I got to make a comment there. There was a book that was supposed to be coming out here in another month or two. That was basically Paul Dini continuing to write Batman stories that pick up from the cartoon.
Ooh.
Well, we're not going to see it now. It's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, obviously it's going to at least be delayed, but I mean, one hopes it will still come out eventually.
One hopes, but you know, hope is not a plan. Oh yeah, see, there's Animal Man busy being infected by the rot right there. That's going to go well for everybody.
I see no way in which this can possibly go poorly. No,
absolutely not. And it's funny you mentioned Batman because the very next book in my pack or my stack here Oh yeah.
Oh man, what's Azrael doing on the cover?
Well,
Well,
apparently he's on fire and holding a sword.
he's wearing
Yeah.
one of Batman's suits, and he's got his
He's got
magic
the
sword,
Azrael flaming sword of justice.
and he's killing Bruce because that's what this whole series has been about: is Azrael getting revenge on Bruce
Oh no!
for. Oh man, there was like a truth bomb in the last issue, and I hated it. Are neither of you are ever going to actually read this? Are you?
Oh no, definitely not. You can definitely spoil it to your heart's content for me.
All right, if you're in the audience, you don't want to be spoiled. Well, you probably shouldn't watch my last review because I think I spoiled it there, but I'm definitely spoiling it here. So Bruce Wayne's not actually a Wayne.
What?
What?
None of the Waynes are Waynes. Their
What?
ancestor killed whichever Wayne it was that came over. Was that Edward Wayne? I don't remember. They killed whoever the first Wayne was. And that's the secret that the Joker was hiding all through the White Knight series, was he knew that Batman wasn't actually a Bruce Wayne.
So the Wayne-iness has waned away.
Exactly. The Waynes aren't Waynes. They're actually the guy from, they're descended from the Order of Saint whatever guy
Saint Dumas.
that brought Mr. Wayne over to kill Lafayette Arkham. And then he wanted all the land for himself, so he killed ye old Mr. Wayne and renamed himself to be Wayne.
I was worried it was going to be something like robots or clones or magical
That's-
construct.
It's kind of a dumb truth bomb, and Bruce Wayne is angsting over it way more than I would in that situation, because I'd just be like, whatever, I'm Bruce Wayne, deal with it. I'm Batman.
I was gonna say, so Bruce has grown up still thinking that he was a Wayne. It was just his dad was not actually Bruce Wayne. He was a Bruce Wayne interloper.
Well, no, it goes back to like the 1700s.
Oh, it goes back way further. Okay.
Oh, okay, that doesn't make sense. Oh, right. So the Wayne family wasn't the Waynes back then, but I'm not. Someone.
I mean, yeah. After a certain point, they're the Waynes, regardless of what happened. Like, a couple hundred years ago.
Yeah, I'm
what
just
trickles down is you have built and entrenched the Wayne family.
I'm just not seeing the punch here.
The punch is that Azrael is a Wayne.
Oh.
He's a bastard descendant of Edmund Wayne with some hooker he banged back in the 1700s.
As one
Okay,
does.
that would actually probably have.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what this whole thing is about. You've got an actual Wayne versus the descendant of the family that killed the last actual Wayne.
Okay.
I'm all for holding grudges, but Azrael needs to kind of take it back a notch.
Azrael's dying. He's got cancer. He's going to be dead in 2 months anyway, so he's just getting some revenge while he can.
So this is kind of like the final countdown sort of thing.
Yep.
Just got to get the work done before you go.
I don't know. I think I'd take a trip to Tahiti or something if the whole world was in lockdown.
I mean, you could do that, or you can sword fight Batman. I mean, there's pluses to both plans. I'll give you that.
I think I would go to Tahiti and then sword fight Batman, because I'm pretty sure if I tried to sword fight Batman first, I might not get to Tahiti.
Oh, look, there's Harley with the little Joker babies.
God. Oh, you want to talk about a comic panel that punched me right in the feels?
Which one?
That conversation that she had with Ivy about how she disappeared for a year to have the baby.
Oh, that, yeah.
That
was with Black Canary, not Ivy.
Was it?
It's with Black Canary, because Black Canary was pregnant.
Okay. I thought she was talking about Ivy just because the two of them are usually a duo in my head. But yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
I know exactly the sequence of panels you're talking about.
Oh.
They were getting ready to fight, and then Black Canary was about to puke, and then Harley was like,
I actually saw that one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we know exactly the book you're talking about. That was a good panel, and that also hurt. And you know, the funny thing is that totally ties into the depiction of Harley and the Joker, like their relationship. Like it's exactly that relationship that in the Harleen series happens. It goes down basically the same way. It also ties into the way Harley's relationship with the Joker is in the White Knight series too. So that's
I mean, that
the
seems like a
canonical.
pretty common depiction, you know, of how they interact. Sometimes people just lean a little harder on the physical abuse side of things, or they lean a little, you know, less hard on that side of things. But him not really being that cognizant of her unless he's looking for a punching bag or she's being obnoxious seems like a pretty common depiction of things.
Yeah, I actually like that in the first White Knight series because the Harley in that series isn't even Harley. It's just some blonde. And the Joker didn't know or didn't care about the difference.
Man.
And then Harley actually shows back up and she's like, Jack, you're cured, you know? And the new Harley's like, no, you can't do this. And then she becomes the villain of the series because she becomes Neo Joker and gets a way cooler costume.
Right on.
All right, I'm not going to flip through any more White Knight because I don't want to spoil it for myself. I knew there was a sword fight because I saw a sword fight on the cover, but I don't want to spoil it. Also, man, these books have such glossy covers.
I was noticing that. This is definitely very shiny.
Yeah, over like where the color stuff is, it's shiny, and then the white is just a matte finish.
Yeah,
it's a pretty cool effect.
It's kind of a neat effect, yeah.
Let's look at the back cover. What do we got here? Oh, actually, that's a panel right out of the book because I showed that one. Huh.
Yep.
A curse, a birthright, and centuries of lies. The Joker's back with a devastating secret to shake Batman and Gotham to the core. Because I'm Batman.
Bat metal intensifies.
That's pretty typical, you. Always with the bat metal.
Boy, you have such a good bat metal family Batman voice.
I'm just making fun of Christian Bale, dude.
Which is fair. There was definitely it went a little far in places. That being said, I still thought it was an amazing portrayal. But there were definitely times where you're like, maybe a little less gargling whiskey and gravel before you put the cowl on.
I don't know. The gravel's an important part of Batman, I feel.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should get rid of it entirely, but just, dial it down a couple of steps, perhaps.
All right, so here's a mildly amusing story about this book. This isn't on my pull list. I saw it in the store. I'm just like, whatever. Sean thinks I want this book. I'll go ahead and get it. He got it because I was into the Van Helsing versus Dracula daughter series, which was kind of fun. So I'm just like, whatever. But man, I will never get over the stupid costume they give Mrs. What's her name? Liesel Van Helsing. All right, you ready for this, Ninja Weasel?
All right, what do we got? Wow.
That looks like Moxie from Borderlands. That's the first thing that pops into my head.
Goggles.
I was looking different boat light goggles in point of fact. It looks like one red and one green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a
boat light
Moxie
goggles. The corset with nothing else.
I could go make this in the City of Heroes Treasure Theater except for the goggles.
You can make this in City of Heroes. But this is what we're going out to fight monsters in, huh?
You bet. This is what we fight Dracula in, right here.
I see no way in which this plan can possibly fail.
And it's funny that, like, she's not even on the cover of the book that has her name on it, because that's the Zenescope version of, I think that's the Robin Hood character.
Does the Robin Hood character eventually show up in the book?
I did see her on the opposite page from the one I was showing, because there's like I guess that's Frankenstein's got her in his hand or something.
That's Frankenstein's monster, let's be accurate.
You never know. In DC Comics, for example,
that's true. It could be
Frankenstein.
Did you ever read the Gene Kuntz novels where he was talking about Victor Frankenstein and the creation surviving to the modern day and winding up back at war with each other was kind of interesting.
I've never read a Dean Koontz novel.
Some of them are really good.
I'll have to take your word for that. I know they're pretty popular.
Yeah, I don't read Koontz with nearly the same fanatical devotion that I read, say, Stephen King. And even that I've fallen off of in recent years. But every once in a while, you know, I would just be like, this sounds interesting. Oh, it's a Dean Koontz novel. Let me read it. Usually over my lunch break while I was working at Walmart or something like that.
Yeah, I can get down with that. That's how I read the Robot Anthology by Asimov. Was over my lunch breaks while I was working at the bookstore at the college I went to.
There you go.
Because it was a book for one of the classes. So I had unpacked 200 copies of it. And when you're down in the basement, nobody cares what you do. Oh my God. So I have the worst story. It's funny from my perspective because I wasn't there when it happened. So I had spent 4 hours, because that's what I was working, 20-hour work weeks, 4 hours a day. And I spent 4 hours down there with the shop vac, right?
Right.
And because my mandate from my boss, who's my boss? Was it David? I think it was David. He was like, yo, dude, go clean up the basement. Here's the shop vac. I'm like, cool. So I'm down there. I get 2 out of the 3 or 4 aisles done. I vacuumed up, a decade worth of dust and chalk and cardboard that's crumpled into cardboard paper dust and roaches the size of my hand. I'm dealing with this.
Familiar with all of these things.
So I'm victorious. Hey man, I got about half of that done. It's great. So I go home at lunch, and then my buddy, who's in my band, so I have no idea what name to use for him, because he had 15 different names in the band, because he was Flanger Man and Eason X, and I don't even know anymore. But he's also working at the bookstore. They used to have to make sure we didn't work together because we'd end up just talking the whole time. So he's assigned to go finish what I started, right? This is, I should show my head or something while I'm telling this story. So he goes down there and he's like, all right, I'm going to go shop the back here. And he gets it and he flips the switch, except he had toggled it into reverse.
Oh, no.
So all that stuff. It sets the fire alarm off. So the fire department has to come over because it's a commercial operation. So they're called automatically. So they respond to this thing. So fire department shows up. And so I hear this part of the story secondhand, and I can totally see the scene in my mind. The upstairs is full of dust. Everybody's dying because God knows what I vacuumed up, man. I probably had the hantavirus in that thing. So they fire department comes up, and my boss at the time, he just looks at my friend. He's like, "Go home, just go home," because otherwise he's gonna kill him. Because they had to shut down for 2 hours or something to clean up the mess. Probably took them the rest of the day, honestly.
No doubt.
Man, there are just some screw-ups that if no one doesn't nail your body to the wall outside as a warning to other hirees, that you should just walk away, probably at a brisk pace, maybe move to a different state, change your name, get plastic surgery.
Oh man. So the same friend, he was working, they were remodeling one of the buildings on campus, and so he had taken, because this was at Berea College. If you go to Berea College, you also work for the college. And he was working on it was the next summer, I think. He was working on construction crew. They were renovating, I forget which building. And so they have him taking out walls in the basement. And I can already tell Ninja Weasel knows where the story's going. So he takes out a wall. And it was the load-bearing wall in the middle of the building.
Oh.
So now they have to evacuate the whole building. Just go home.
Just go home.
Just go home.
You would think, or at least I would think, if you were turning unlicensed contractors loose in a basement for demolition, you would put a big, obvious "Do not destroy this wall" sign in some fashion.
Spray paint a big X on it. That'll take you 5 minutes.
Go Fern Gully. Put a big red X on it.
Oh man.
Just started the day off by taking out the load-bearing wall.
Yep, just go home.
Just go home.
Just go home.
So how'd work go for you, honey? Well, I may have made a boo-boo.
On the one hand, he's really good at his job.
You know, I gotta say, his wife must have the patience of a saint.
Man.
Let's see. Okay, definitely. What can I show? Hey, I can show the back cover of this book. I can show that on stream. There we go.
Right on.
That might be the only thing I
was going to say. That's all, folks. Go home.
So I'm going to now pull this back and deprive you of looking at that for a minute. And I'm just going to like spread some comic books over here to show on the screen. And I'm going to like flip through this thing. Good. The webcam's not showing me. So there's no chance of me showing anything that's going to get me banned off of YouTube or doxing myself because there is a packing slip in here with my name on it. Not that I'm really that worried about that, but there are crazy people on the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we already know that your true name is Dr. Elizabar. So, I mean, you know, there's only so much left for you to hide.
Okay. I guess I can show that too. That doesn't seem too bad.
Okay.
Oh, definitely can't show that print on stream. I'll just put that over here.
Well, I was about to say this is definitely starting off with a lot better odds than the last time, but here we go again.
I think I can show the bottom half of this metal and like inked card. That's really cool. It's got great line art. I just can't show you the top half of it. Just put that over there. And I got this whole package full of stuff here, and I'm gonna see what I can show out of this. See, last time I wasn't prepared for this because they'd never sent anything that risque.
This time we know better.
Yeah, this time I know what I'm in for. Let's see. We got a
hey. Keep showing up for these.
Got a little button there. That's cool. Well, see, I knew you'd want to be here for this. Got a fridge magnet. I think I can show that on stream. Could definitely show that card on stream.
Well, it's definitely seeming to be a lot more YouTube friendly this time around.
Yeah,
compared to what I remember from
on stream. You would just laugh at it.
Was that a condom?
Yep.
Thank God somebody is advocating practicing safe sex.
I got this like shirt pin. I don't know where I'd wear that to, but I guess if I ever needed to wear that,
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It's comic related, it counts.
Let's see. Oh, hey, there's a surprisingly large amount of stuff I can show on stream in the cards.
Awesome.
Look at that. Hey, I can definitely show this bookmark on stream because that's just the cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you need a vinyl sticker, I got one of those. And, definitely can't show that card on stream. But I can show this one because that's just like a bloody kiss. That's gross.
I mean, that's somebody's jam, but...
No, I think that's blood, not jam.
And I had better not show that print on stream. Okay. I could probably get away with it, but I'm not going to.
Better safe than sorry.
Don't tease the octopus, kids.
I don't need to get my streaming privileges revoked. Although if I did, I would just go stream on Twitch instead. And then I get banned from off of there because they're like more draconian about this if you're not a female. So, who apparently can get away with anything, man. like right up to the point where your like cat is trying to assassinate you, which is kind of funny. Did I show you that, or did you just find that on your own?
I think you showed me that.
Oh, that was so good, man. Assassin cat. I would open this up and flip through it, but there's odds that we're just going to find stuff I can't show on YouTube. So we're just going to move on.
Odds are good, given what we encountered last time.
Yeah.
Although the rest of the swag seemed to be pretty relatively sedate comparatively.
Yeah, there were 2 prints, one of which I probably could have shown that I didn't, and then there was 1 or 2 cards, and that was it. So that wasn't too bad. The other thing I got in the mail were the books from the Mythoverse Comics Kickstarter campaign that I backed. So that's pretty cool. Adobe Kroger actually is really cool. I'm going to crack this open, and because I don't know if you saw my review of the digital version of this. Did Dan Satchero ask me to do that review, or did I just get the PDF and review it just because? I don't remember. This is the guy who, Dan Satchero, he's the guy who's like, oh, is this that other guy? And I was like, no. And I've suddenly blanked on who you thought he was.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, that was like a year ago or something. But anyway, this book is pretty cool, man. It's got some nice solid line art. It definitely borrows the manga type aesthetic for the way it lays stuff out.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that aesthetic, though. And, the time and place for it.
And I think that when you have like a invulnerable super soldier working for the Templars fighting evil vampires, is definitely probably the time for it.
That's definitely within the manga aesthetic wheelhouse, yeah.
Come on. Swirling Death Fist. You know you needed that in your life.
Oh yeah, that's classic. That's somebody that's somebody getting their day ruined.
I don't think you can legally call it a manga if you don't have a swirly death fist of some sort. I think what I'm racking my brain. Iron Walk Jan, a cooking manga, had a swirly death fist at some point.
It's been a long time since I've looked at like some romance manga like My Son Ikoku or something, but I don't remember swirling Death Fist in that. That doesn't mean it wasn't there though, in fairness. See, you can tell he's an evil vampire guy because he's got all the ladies. That's how you know he's an evil vampire guy.
Naturally.
That's how they roll, right?
That's definitely how they roll.
Oh my god, I love the way the building looks.
That is awesome. That texturing effect is fantastic.
Oh, it is. Oh, did I ever tell you guys about oh god, I just blanked on his name. The mangaka for Akira, Otomo, right? That's his name, Katsuhiro Otomo?
I think.
Did I ever show you the or explain like the picture where he has the explosion of Neo Tokyo, the big vaporizing sphere?
No, I don't think I've seen that.
This is my favorite single piece of manga art, and it's my single favorite story related to manga. I got to find exactly the right panel. Ah, there it is. That's exactly what I want to show. Let me show my screen on my desktop here. Share screen, application window, Brave. And here we go. This thing right here. Check it out.
Wow. That's awesome.
Now, if you're a normal artist, you see the big black sphere in the middle? Like you see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if you're a normal artist, what you do is you paint that black. You get an ink brush, you paint it black, and then you take like a toothbrush, you dip it in some white out, and you like fleck that on there to get the little white things, or maybe you lightly tap it. There's a lot of different techniques to get that little white speckle. Do you know what he did?
He hand drew circles around each of the white spots, didn't he?
Nope.
No?
That black is individual pin strokes.
Wow.
I think they said there was like 10,000 pin strokes in that.
Well, when you need to make a concept of annihilation, I guess you go out. go blah, blah, go all out. Blah, blah.
Yeah, he did go all out. His editor is mad at him for this. I don't blame the editor, but that's the kind of guy he was. Have you ever read?
But the product is
Akira? The English adaptation of it? Have you ever read the manga volumes? Dark Horse published them. They're big in these big, colorful spines and stuff.
Nope, I have only ever seen the anime. But in my defense, I saw it in the theater on the big screen, which was mind blowing. But I've never read
it.
We're talking about the Akira manga.
Yeah,
I think I read them in many old days past. I'm talking like 2 decades ago. But
okay, I've read them like maybe last time about that long ago, but I got the volumes down in my basement. But the reason I bring it up is if you look in there, normal style for doing manga in English back then was to just mirror it and then make it that way it reads left to right. That's how they used to do this stuff. I got a whole box full of examples of manga like that I could show you. They
used to do that, and then I believe they got in trouble doing that with Blade of the Immortal because it wound up that he suddenly had an authentic German swastika on his back. And I think at that point they like stopped just doing the flat panel inversions or something like that. I remember that being a thing at some point.
Yeah, they did that all through the 90s. So like the original Akira run, which actually is from the 80s, it was like that. The volumes, at least the ones I own from Dark Horse, are like that too. But Katsuhiro Otomo is so pedantic. He's like, okay, so you're going to flip the pages, right? All right, then let me redraw the panels of whoever the colonel was. I forget his name. He redrew the panels so that the breast was done right for the uniform. So that the breast, his jacket's not moved.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the kind of artist this dude is. It's absolutely insane. And he's the reason why Akira, the movie, is actually at 24 frames per second or 29.97. I forget what it is. Probably whatever the actual projector was running at. He's the reason it's that way. He would not let them go at half speed like every other anime ever produced. He's like, no. If we're going to do this, we're going to draw twice as many images as anybody else. I'm going to draw all the keyframes. It's going to be perfect. And so if you ever wonder why Akira looks so dang fluid, it's because the madman that drew 10,000, I'm sorry, pointing the wrong way on the screen, drew 10,000 little lines in that picture just for the black dome, was like, no, we're going to do this perfectly. I don't care what it costs. You wanted to make this movie, we're going to make it my way or we're not making it.
That's crazy.
I believe it's the only animated feature with hand-drawn animation to be at the correct frame rate for a movie. There are sequences in other movies that are drawn that way, and they look amazing and startlingly fluid and stuff, but usually animation is drawn at half the normal number of frames to save on costs because it halves your costs. Even like Ghost in the Shell, man, if you go watch that, there's a lot of sequences where things aren't moving as fluidly as they could. You know, like you look at the any of the action sequences, they're clearly drawn that way, but then they'll just be like, you know what? We're just going to have like a 5-minute sequence of somebody sitting there because they're talking psychically, you know? And that's to save money because they don't have to animate mouths.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this dude.
I'll watch that again. I haven't seen it in forever.
Oh,
Now you got me interested. And on that note, I hate to bow on this, but I have a very upset cat right outside my door that needs all sorts of attention. So thank you for having me on the stream.
Thanks for dropping by, and congrats again.
You gotta do. And again, congratulations, like the man said.
Thank you both, and good night and good luck as we get through this. I don't want to put in this on a somber note, but good night and good luck to both of you and to all our viewers out there.
Hey, you too, man. Stay safe out there.
And hey, one last thing before you go. Whenever you like actually get one of your articles published, man, be sure to like drop it on the Discord server or something. Like,
yeah, link that action on Discord. I definitely want to go read it.
All right, thank you both. Take care.
Yeah, man. Peace.
We're going to be wrapping up here in a minute anyway. I haven't seen any of the interiors of this book. I think I got the PDF for it, but I never read it, so I don't actually know anything about it. So we'll just Except this dude, man, he's always trolling on Twitter. He's going to get himself in trouble one day. I can't really say I'm too impressed at first glance. Looks like a webcomic. Oh, I'm definitely going to have fun making fun of this book, which I don't want to do, but it's totally going to happen. Unless I get reading it and the writing is so good. Man, this book is so new that the pages have like static electricity wanting to hold them together.
Oh, wow.
It smells like ink, too.
That's fresh.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's flipped through this book before now, and that's why. So definitely going to read that here in the next couple of days, and I'll no doubt do a review, and no doubt Matt Trin is going to be like, why you be so mean to me? I thought we were Twitter buddies. I'm going to be like, I tell it like it is. That's why you people like me. Or I'm going to read it, and the writing's going to be like, man, this is so good, I didn't care. That happens sometimes, man. I've read books where the writing has just been so spectacular that I haven't cared like too much about the art. Because you can do amazing things with just like stick figures and stuff if you have to.
Yeah, good writing and story flow can definitely compensate for some less than stellar art.
I mean,
but then by the flip side of that token, though, I don't know if I've ever seen a book where I'm like, this writing was awful, but it was so pretty, it was worth it. Maybe that's just the book nerd in me, though.
No, I think that's pretty normal. Go look at like a lot of image books from the 90s. It's like, oh, this is like spectacular art, but I couldn't stand to actually read any of the text on the pages. Huh. Hey, speaking of image books, I haven't opened it because it's still in its original plastic bag that it came in. It's still polybagged.
Oh,
but
wow.
Hey, Warm Watch number 0. It's got the trading card inside the poly bag and everything on the back.
Dude, that's amazing.
Got this out of the 50-cent bin last week, which means I got it for free.
Everything tastes better when it's free.
You bet. Oh, you know what? I think I meant to take a picture of this because I actually found myself reminiscing earlier about like books coming with stupid cards. And I saw this. I was like, oh man, I got to take a picture and talk about that on Twitter or something. And then I never did. So I guess I'll leave this out.
Grifter, what the hell action pose is that? Put that back up here. Let me see that again. Because hold on a minute. Yeah.
It's just Grifter grifting, man.
What are we even doing?
He's like jumping over somebody, I think. He's like bulldogging them with his left hand and leaping over them and shooting upside down, like double gangster style.
Behind that. Oh, that's amazing. God bless the 90s.
I know. I can't get mad at it. Oh my God. I just realized what they're advertising. Freaking Pogs, dude.
Oh, wow. That takes a man back.
Apparently, Jim Lee had a line of Pogs published through Skybox, which I think wasn't Skybox owned by Marvel at this point, the early mid-90s? Because wasn't that the comic company they bought to publish cards? No, Skybox was the second comic company that Marvel bought to publish cards because just having one card company wasn't enough. They had to buy a second one, run it into the ground, and go bankrupt. That's right. I remember the timeline now.
I don't remember any of this, but I will definitely take your word for it because it wasn't something that I paid much attention to.
Oh, dude, we could have like another hour stream just talking about all the bad business decisions Marvel made in the 90s. Yeah, I'm going to get a picture of that tomorrow. Let me just sit that over here. All right, let's look at Changeling, man. Brett's a hoot on Twitter. He also trolls too much. That's kind of a Twitter thing, I guess. How am I like one of the trolliest people around? And I don't troll that much on Twitter, but everybody else does. I don't get it. Oh, man, these books, they got the static. Can you hear the crink? Let me hold it up to the microphone. See if I can find a page that'll pop when I open it from the static breaking. Give me a second. I got to find a good page here. One that resists. Yeah, right here. Did you hear that?
I did not, but I will take your word for it.
Dude, there was a pop of static, and then it was like peeling two pieces of plastic apart, that sound.
Yeah.
This book is fresh.
That's awesome.
It's also kind of cute. So the main character here, Maeve, she's like a changeling. I don't know like if her mom is or not or whatever, but her mom is totally a MILF, and that's what all the Twitter trolling is about, is people trolling him for Maeve's mom. It's a hoot. You know, if I win another stupid piece of art off of some Twitter art raffle, did you see the one I won for the last one I won for that had Regina? Did I show you that?
Don't think so.
Oh, okay. We're stopping the stream, and I'm going to go look this up. Give me just a second to pull up that stuff on Twitter here. So, you know, I see art raffles and stuff, right? And I'm like, oh, you know what? If I win, I win. If I don't win, I don't win. It's no BFD. I'm just like doing this for funds. And you know, it's always like you got to retweet or something. So just the act of entering decreases your odds of winning because other people are going to see it. Where is this? Oh, there we go. This was wow, almost a week ago now. Also, before I show that, I'm going to show you this, and I want you to just tell me what's wrong with this picture. Let me see. I want to share my monitor here. Is that this? That one will do. So this is a piece of art from Mike Deodato Jr., who used to be really good. You see what he did here? You have a pretty good eye. You probably see it. If not, we're not going to dwell on it for too long.
Yeah, tell me what I'm looking at.
That's a traced over 3D model. Those are all stock body parts. It's a stock pose. The gun is a stock piece. I'm pretty sure even the background objects are all 3D model pieces. This is like, there's no creative work here. He just set something up in Poser and then drew over it.
All
of his art is like this. The first like 5 issues of Savage Avengers that he did the art for, they're all this trace stuff. Every character in the books have like the same body type, even though they're wildly different characters. Conan and Wolverine and Brother Voodoo do not have Brother Blood, whichever voodoo guy that was. They do not all have the same body type. But when he drew them, they did.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, Wolverine would be like, if you took Conan and squashed it down to like 2/3 scale, maybe.
So this is from his new book, J. Michael Straczynski wrote. It's called Resistance, but the art's like this. And the book is about a plague. Oh, what great timing.
That is uncomfortably topical, yes.
Yeah, here's the piece I won.
Awesome.
So I think Brian is actually
to like backing rags one of these days.
You really should. You know, for like $1, you can get all the digital. And since you're a vet, Brian will also just send you comic books. You just got to show him your DD214 or whichever form it is. I'm blanking on that right now.
My 214 anymore.
Come on,
I don't think I ever actually had a copy of my 214. I like filed it on the way off the base in San Diego and was like, I'm done with all this crap. I'm out.
Anyway, I got that piece for free because I won the raffle. And I think Brian is turning that into a print or something now.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of cool. And here's the funny part. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm totally going to say it. The artist, he's like, yeah, I didn't think I could draw all the tattoos. So I took them off of this reference image that I sent him. And he just kind of pasted them in. And then it just looked okay. So he just went with it.
Right on. She does have some ink too. That's not an unfounded fear. Rags has herself a significant amount of tattoos.
Oh, don't call her that. Brian Ball will hunt you down and kill you like a dog. That's not her nickname, man. It's just Regina.
It's just Regina. Then why is the comic called Rags?
I'm not entirely clear on that myself, even though I've talked to Brian about that.
Have to suck it up.
But my favorite tattoo of hers, I think, is the one on her right side, like over her kidney, because it's like the skin, but the flag is peeking through.
Okay.
You can't see it in this image, but I think that's my favorite Regina tat. All right, that's enough of this stream. We're done here. There's nothing else to talk about. We're gonna go in circles. You got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. I'm surprised 6 hasn't been like zombies, because I did tag him in the thing on Discord because I thought he might want to just drop in and tell me to stop tagging him and stuff or something. Dude, I got a bunch of stuff here I still got to read from last week.
Well, think of all the time you're going to have to do it now.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Blood Realm is so good. Oh, look, it's Rags. Hey. Maybe I can find that tattoo I'm talking about in here real quick. Oh, look, there's the operator murdering zombies with hatchets to Lady Gaga. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, the operator.
Oh, no, Regina wears that jacket this whole book, so I won't find her tats in here. Ooh, and I definitely can't show that page on
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, she's like wearing a jacket the whole time, so definitely no abdomen tattoo. Such a good book. All right, I'm out, man. Thank you so much for joining me. And for all you people out there, like however many, that's not what I want to show. That's also not what I want to show. That's closer to what I want to show. Let's just go with it. All you people out there, thanks for hanging out with us and all that jam. Take care of yourselves. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and whatever other social media things exist, do those, because I'm like on every platform, maybe even on platforms you don't know exist right now. And probably never will. You'll probably die next year.
For notifications.
Oh, wait, shouldn't we be like smash the subscribe button too? Or the like button or something? They always say to smash something. You all should smash something, preferably not your computer, because if you smash your computer, you can't come next week.
Unless you have a spare computer, in which case smash away.
All right, I'm going to hit in broadcast here. I'm not sure if that kicks you out or what. So if we just suddenly end, that's why.